The second set of rounds is identical to the previous rounds except two changes. The first new change is that farmers can have a new third option, petition. Just like before, farmers pay their 10 tokens and then take water from the public irrigation infrastructure to grow crop. This is the first option. The second option is that farmers hold payment and just keep their 10 tokens. Now the third option is that farmers petition to the provider to improve the infrastructure while still paying 10 tokens to the provider to take water. However, know that petition is costly to both farmers and the provider. For the farmer, petition is costly because they have to spend their time and energy to do this. For the provider, petition by a farmer is also costly because the provider has to spend time and energy to handle or respond to the petition. More specifically, at the beginning of each round, each farmer is endowed with 10 tokens. Each farmer then decides what to do with this endowment between three options: hold, pay, and petition. Basically, earnings from hold and pay are calculated in the same way as before. First, if a farmer decides to hold the tokens and does not pay to the provider, the farmer will just earn 10 tokens. Second, if a farmer decides to pay 10 tokens, then there are two possible outcomes. When the irrigation infrastructure is fully functional, the farmer will earn 15 tokens. Otherwise, when the irrigation infrastructure is minimally functional, the farmer will earn 5 tokens. Now let me explain how a farmer's earning is calculated when the farmer chooses the third option, petition. If a farmer chooses a petition, then it will cost him or her 2 tokens. But note that by doing so, it will also cost the provider 5 tokens. If a farmer decides to do petition, then there are two possible outcomes. When the irrigation infrastructure is fully functional, the farmer will earn 13 tokens because of 2 tokens are deducted from making petition. Again, this is because making petition is costly to the farmer. That is, the farmer has to spend time and energy to make petition. And when the irrigation infrastructure is minimally functional, the farmer will earn 3 tokens because of 2 tokens are calculated with the same reason. Provider has the same options as the previous rounds, keep and invest. However, unlike the previous rounds, the provider's earning will be deducted by 5 tokens for each farmer choosing petition. This is because the provider has to spend time and energy to handle or respond to the petition. So, from the provider's perspective, it will be costly to receive petition from farmers. If the provider decides to keep, the provider will earn the collected tokens deducted by 5 tokens for each farmer choosing petition. And if a provider decides to invest, the provider will earn the tokens remaining after the collected tokens are deducted by both investment cost and petitions. The investment cost is 15 tokens, and the tokens deducted because of petitions are calculated in the same way. Here is an example. Let's suppose that 2 farmers chooses petition and 1 farmer chose pay. Then the provider receives 30 tokens from 3 farmers. If the provider decides to invest, the provider has 15 tokens after investing 15 tokens. However, because 2 farmers chose petition, 10 tokens will be further deducted from the provider's earning. Thus, the provider will earn only 5 tokens. The second new change to these rounds is the group chat. Now, all players, both farmers and the provider, can communicate with one another using a group chat window. You can send text messages to the other participants for 60 seconds at the beginning of each round. That is, a farmer can communicate with other two farmers as well as the provider, and the provider can also communicate with the three farmers. You can communicate with each other about any aspect of the exercise for 60 seconds at the beginning of each round. However, there are two restrictions. You are not allowed to promise the other participants any side payments or threaten them with any consequences after the experiment is finished. Also, you are not allowed to reveal your real identity. Note that group chat does not affect both the farmers and the providers' earning, because your earnings are determined only by what three farmers and the provider choose among their available decision options. Next, you will take a short quiz again, and after that, you will be playing the second set of rounds.